Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rise and Shiny Live. My name is Danae, if we haven't met. Thank you for joining tonight. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Earth Day. Today is Earth Day. I want to know what you and your family are up to for Earth Day. Have you made any decisions about maybe your carbon footprint going into the next year? Or I feel like Earth Day is sometimes kind of one of those New Year's resolutions where we kind of think about our carbon footprint and how we can make a difference for the next, hopefully by the next April 22nd that rolls around. I had a question for you. If you're here, just comment if you have an answer to this question. How much of the plastic that we throw into our blue bins, how much of that do you think is actually recycled? And how much do you think ends up in the landfill? I was totally shocked by this when I learned that only 9%, 5 to 9% of what we're actually throwing in the blue bins is being recycled. So that means 91 out of 100 bottles that we're throwing away is actually ending up in the landfill, which is crazy to think about. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was being environmentally friendly, washing out all my containers, putting them in my blue bin. And I was shocked to find out that 91 out of 100 are not actually truly recycled. So that's a huge contribution to the plastic problem in the world. So what can we do about that? If you're like me, I didn't really go down the eco-friendly route unless it was more convenient for me or less expensive. If there was two products sitting on a shelf and one was green cleaning and the other one was a few dollars less, oftentimes I would grab the few dollars less one, and I would promise to contribute to the environment another day. Are you like me? Was that kind of your story too? So I actually want to talk to you about a really good option for cleaning, because cleaning is a huge contributor to these plastic bottles that we're throwing away, constantly having to replenish, constantly having to repurchase. And the green cleaning options on the shelf are oftentimes so expensive. Or just really inconvenient. Maybe we have to, subscribe to a mail program or something like that. So I want to give you this option because I don't think a lot of people know about it. I didn't know about it about a year and a half ago, and it's changed everything for me. I honestly didn't choose it because of Earth Day or environmental reasons or even the health impact of chemicals. I chose it because it saved me a lot of time. I have 3 little kids, and cleaning just wasn't happening because they were always wanting to get their hands into everything as I was cleaning, so I couldn't do it when they were awake, and I didn't have energy for it when they went to bed, and so it would just pile up, and I honestly was pretty overwhelmed by it. And so when I found a solution to that, it changed a lot. And this is why I say we accidentally got rid of a lot of the plastic in our house and the chemicals in our house, because that wasn't really our intention in switching to this type of cleaning. So I'm just going to talk to you about microfiber and water and how this truly can clean your home just using water. We don't need to be adding all these chemical sprays. So the very first time that I used, this is called an Enviro Cloth, and it's a Norwex product. This is what we use at our home for everything. This cleans everything. So basically the idea is that there's microfiber in the cloth, and these microfibers are 1/200th the size of one of your hairs. So one of your hairs cut 200 times. In order to make it onto a store shelf in the microfiber world, it has to be 1/6. And so microfiber is very tiny. But what happens as it moves across the surface is it actually picks up a mess rather than what we're used to doing. And if you grew up chemical cleaning like me, we spray something on our surface and deal with the mess on the surface before pulling it away. We've chemically cleaned stuff for years. And so this is called mechanical cleaning. And basically what we're doing is we're just removing it first and then dealing with the mess after we've picked it up. So I'm actually going to just demonstrate this with some butter, because butter is just one of those messes that, it just kind of needs to be usually cut down with some soap and all that kind of stuff. And so here's my microfiber cloth. So as I move it across the surface, I'm just going to keep it flat. And what you're going to notice is that it doesn't smear around. It is actually picking it up as I move it across. And this is what it's doing with bacteria and grime and dirt and fingerprints and whatever else is on our surfaces. And so the Enviro Cloth is actually really efficient because it has 8 massive sides that really helps to just lift everything away. And then what we have is a window cloth. Now, a lot of people use this wet. I love using it dry. And it's just a follow-up cloth, but it makes things totally sparkle like this. So this can be used on faucets after you're done just cleaning with water and your microfiber. This can be used on glass, on windows, on mirrors, on sinks, on backsplash tile, just so many things that really, this is like your wow cloth. This adds so much pizzazz. As you kind of look at your house, you're like, that has never been that shiny. I can't believe that that cloth actually did that just with water. And so this cloth, I like to think of it with kind of 8 sides. So you can think of one corner as your Mr. Clean, one corner as your Windex, one corner as your tub and tile spray, one corner as your whatever else, paper towels. This replaces everything. And so all of these plastic bottles that we're constantly, cluttering up our cupboards with, throwing into the landfill, and they're contributing to a huge plastic problem. I was just learning recently, through Earth Day, really, it caused me to kind of start researching, and there's this garbage patch. There's 5 of them, massive garbage patches in the ocean. Just Google it sometime. It's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's the size of Texas, and basically it's just all these currents that are just swirling around, and they're collecting all of the trash from all of the different continents and just swirling it all into one massive, like the size of Texas worth of garbage. And there's over 250 pieces for each person in the world in just one of them. So it's just astronomical what our plastic contribution to this world is. And this is just one really awesome option that allows us to just make a difference in what we're adding to our recycle bins, but really to the landfill, since it's not actually usually ending up in recycling material. So anyway, there are a couple other products that I just wanted to talk to you about. If you're a paper towel user, these are incredible. These are called counter cloths. They're the same size as like a half paper towel, made with the same thing as the Enviro Cloth. So it's got the same microfiber. So basically you're still going to just go across your surface with it wet, and it's going to do the same thing. It's just going to pick up all that bacteria, protein, grime, whatever, as you move it across your countertops, whatever else you're cleaning up big messes with, just with water. And it's so handy. It's great for kids' faces and kids' hands after dinner, that kind of stuff. But one paper towel can actually absorb the same as 8, the same size of this. So you don't have to wash them very often. One thing I haven't talked about yet is that all of these cloths have silver inside of them. And so the silver is actually an antibacterial agent that makes you not have to do so much laundry. So again, it simplifies cleaning because all you're doing is walking around your house with a cloth and water. Well, 2 cloths if you add the window cloth, which I highly recommend. You're basically just cleaning with 1 cloth and water. And so anyway, these are called counter cloths, and they have silver. All of our cloths have silver in them. So when you're hanging them to dry, basically the silver is going to make sure that the bacteria doesn't reproduce inside of the cloth, which is usually what allows our cloths to start that nasty stink that starts to build up. That's the bacteria reproducing in a dark, moist environment, which is a perfect place like a cloth or a sponge. And so these are constantly fighting that bacteria. And so you can just kind of rinse it out, hang it to dry, and reuse it again and again. Eventually you will have to launder them properly because they've done such a good job pulling up dirt and grime into the cloth, and they'll need help releasing that every once in a while. But for bacteria, like this thing fights it. And so we love them because it's cut down our laundry, and it's simplified cleaning to the point that my kids can join with cleaning, which is awesome. When you're just using water, they can grab an Enviro Cloth and away they go. My twins like to do one with the Enviro Cloth, one with the window cloth, and they just go all over our house and it sparkles. It's great. They're actually really efficient cleaners. So anyway, it's great for teaching kids to do chores around the house without having that, having to make sure that they wear gloves or a mask or something like that. And the third product that I wanted to just talk about is the body cloth. So if you look in your shower or your bathroom cupboards, we've got our body wash, we've got our makeup removers, maybe we've got our facial cleansers, we've got our shaving cream. Even this replaces shaving cream because just with water. This is basically an Enviro Cloth for your skin. So it's softer, but it's a really great exfoliator, and it eliminates all of these products that we constantly have to purchase over and over and over again. These like wipes that people use to remove their makeup, they're millions contributing to the landfill when you can just buy a cloth that you can reuse over and over and over again. It's self-purifying, so you can keep going, 3-4 days with the same cloth before you have to switch it out for the next one. Now, I know that cost sometimes is it's something that took me by surprise. The first time that I saw a Norwex Enviro Cloth before I ordered, I looked in the catalog and I was like, $20 for a cloth? Like, what are they thinking? But the amount of money that it saves is unreal. So if I was to ask you to go to Costco or Walmart or wherever you normally stock up on your cleaning supplies, and I said, you know what, for the next 10 years, they're going to be sold out of paper towels. This has happened to us before, so it's not that out of the world. They're going to be sold out of everything for 10 years. So stock up now, get everything you're going to need for the next 10 years, which is how long these cloths can last if you take care of them really well. If you're constantly rinsing them, hanging them to dry, they will last you 5 to 10 years. And that's 5 to 10 years not adding anything to your shopping cart. So think about what would be in your shopping cart, right? This is even your paper towels, which paper towels are something that we replenish like on the regular. And they are $20 at least for a pack at Costco. So easily replaceable with a one time you're spending the same amount of money. And this thing just keeps on going. So it really is economical with the Enviro Cloth. Like, it's $20, but think about, 5 cleaning products that you're restocking over maybe a year. You're already at $25. So it seems like a lot for a cloth because we're used to cloths being the thing that just kind of smears around the chemical rather than being the thing that actually is doing the cleaning. And so when we think about, I have a lot of cloths already. Do I really need like a fancy $20 cloth in my closet? The answer is that it's not replacing your other cloths. It's actually replacing all of those chemicals in your cupboard. So the chemicals is a whole other thing, but I was not aware of these chemicals. I honestly thought that people that were really into, keeping chemicals out of their body were a little bit crazy. I thought, somebody somewhere has probably tested these products to put them on a store shelf. Like, surely they have people that test them for our human health impact before they make it on a store shelf. There's got to be some kind of regulation in the world. The reality is a lot of these products have been tested on the messes that they tackle, but they have warning labels for a reason because they have not been tested on our health. And so they're not tested for when they're absorbed into our skin or breathed in through our, through spraying something and breathing it in. Or leaving it on a surface and then eating on that surface. All of these ways that they're getting into our bodies, but they are being linked now to cancer. We know so many people who are struggling with cancer. This is a massive problem in the world. Reproductive issues, early onset of puberty, like developmental disabilities in infants. There's 287 chemicals that have been found in just the cord blood of a newborn. So this is a newborn who hasn't experienced the world yet, and they've already absorbed 287 chemicals on average into their bodies already. So it is getting into our bodies, and it's getting into even bodies growing inside of us. It is a huge problem. And so if there's a way to get rid of all of these chemicals and not risk that they may be a contributing factor, they may be, the reason that our hormones get out of whack, or maybe, there's these EDCs that are blocking estrogen. It just wreaks havoc on our bodies. So if we don't have to, this is an awesome, awesome way to avoid this for your kids, to not create this body burden that as they grow up, they contribute to start eliminating that from our own bodies. And it's also very, very environmentally friendly. I have not walked down the cleaning aisle and bought one of those plastic spray bottles in a year, and I've been using Norwex for a year. So it's super, super cost effective. If you are interested and you just want to just get your Enviro Cloth and window cloth and change 80% of the cleaning around your home, there is a link. If you go to linktree/riseandshiny, there's a link right in there. You can grab one of those. And 2 things are going to happen when you do that. So number 1, 10% for Earth Day, 10% from now until May 2nd, 10% of any of the products that are sold I'm going to be donating to Charity Water. Now, Charity Water, it is an incredible organization that gives clean water. It drills holes. It kind of finds the best way to create clean water in so many villages around the world who don't have access to clean water. So we're talking about with cleaning with water, and it's supporting people who need clean water. So it kind of goes hand in hand, and I love the work that they're doing. These are often countries that have taken our trash, taken our plastic into their countries, and now they're trying to deal with it. So anyway, 10% is going to go to them, and 10% is going to go to Ocean Cleanup, another incredible organization that is doing a wonderful job at basically scooping all this trash out of the ocean, getting it into ships and dealing with it for us. It's incredible. So look up those organizations if you have time, but 10% will be going to each of those from every purchase until May 2nd. So definitely consider. It is an awesome time to get your hands on these and just change cleaning. So if you have any questions at all, definitely get in contact with me or leave a comment in the video or something like that. I would love to chat with you. And I just hope that, this is something that you can think about as a green cleaning option for your family going forward, that by next Earth Day, you can say, yes, I haven't had to purchase anything. I haven't had to, replenish my plastic bottles. And I haven't had to contribute anything to the landfill or to the chemicals going into the water runoff. That does eventually end up in our bodies because it, gets into the food stream. So anyway, thank you so much for joining. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I haven't seen any come through, so I will sign off. Thanks, guys.